Welcome back to PlayStation Live from E3. We are here in the PlayStation booth, jam-packed day. We're going to talk about a little PlayStation VR game called Evasion. I'm joined by Jennifer from Archiact. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Sid.
So just a quick setup here. This is a really cool first-person shooter for PlayStation VR. I had a chance to play this a couple weeks ago. Has a terrific feel, and it's got a full locomotion in the game world. So tell me a little bit about what Evasion is and how it plays.
So Evasion is a sci-fi shooter, and we really wanted to lean into intensity. So when people pull off the headset, we want them to be like, wow, that was an awesome experience. So it's intense battles. There's a lot of firepower coming at you, and we give you a big shield on the front of your gun because you're going to need it.
This is super cool. As soon as I saw this thing, the social screen that feeds off the PSVR, I said, wow, this looks good. Like, I need to jump in here. And there's a great co-op feature as well. You can play online multiplayer co-op up to 2 players. Tell me a little bit about how that works.
Yeah, so we have full body avatars in the game. So one of the awesome things about the game is when you jump in with people, you're going to see them there, you're going to see their avatar. So you get a real sense of camaraderie in the game when you play co-op, and you're going to need each other. So we give you this ability called a tether, where you can tether to other players, give them damage boosts and buffs, and you can also tether to enemies and slam them into the environment.
Nice. So there are classes in this game, correct?
Yeah, there's 4 classes. So we have 4 different classes. They all have a lot of special abilities and attacks, including the tether. They have a surge attack. We have a striker class, DPS. We have a tank called the Warden. We have an engineer, a really cool class that does a bunch of chain lightning damage. And then we have our surgeon, which is a combat medic.
Super cool. And the way these characters can kind of interact with each other, I think, makes it, just a much deeper experience. You really kind of have to work together. Now, tell me a bit about, we're seeing some of this now. I played this exact sequence. There's almost a little bit of a bullet hell or a classic arcade shmup feel to some of these enemies.
That's right. So we wanted, we're looking for this kind of intense experience and the arcade. So you've got a bit of Galaga in there. You've got the enemies flying around. You're trying to take them out. It's really intense, and there's a lot of firepower coming at you, so you're definitely going to feel it in there. It's not going to be an easy ride for anyone.
Looks great.
So what inspired this project?
Oh, so we've been working in VR for about 3 years now. One of the things that we really liked was we wanted to make the game that we thought we wanted to see in VR. So we wanted to team up, we wanted to have full locomotion, moving around, and we wanted to create that really awesome, intense FPS experience. So the team was really passionate about that. We're big fans of Doom and Borderlands, and we wanted to make a team-based game where you're really impactful, really memorable for you when you go in and out.
What is the scope of the environments and the levels that we're dealing with here?
So they're pretty large maps, and you're having a lot of opportunity to explore those maps while also taking a lot of firepower and a lot of damage. One of the cool things about it is you can do destruction on the environment, so some things will sort of crumble around you, and in fact, a lot of your cover may crumble. So the enemies, because they're pretty smart, they're going to take out your cover as well, forcing you to evade and dodge attacks. That's sort of the name of the game.
Nice.
One of the things I really liked when I played this game was it's always very hard to convey this when it's a VR title and it's on just sort of a 2D video. But the feeling of, Justin Massengale and I, we played this together, and we were in the same room. It was networked together. And you really got a feeling that, Justin was right next to you as you played,
Right.
And just the movements and the way it tracks it with the PlayStation VR aim controller, we should definitely point out. This is a great use of that one. That's the peripheral that was, is used in Firewall 0 Hour, which is coming up really soon. It was popularized in
Farpoint.
Farpoint, that's right.
Yeah.
And so it adds a lot to this game, but you can still play with DualShock if you want to.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But the aim controller really brings sort of the ultimate sci-fi fantasy to life. You feel totally immersed in it, and even just thinking of it now, I'm like, oh, it's so rad. So it gives you that feeling of, I'm holding a gun, I'm in this environment, and there's really nothing like it. It's so immersive. And we really loved, creating the mechanics and really looking at that controller and building the kind of gun we wanted for that weapon. And it's wonderful. It's super rad.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming and showing.
Thank you, Ramon.
We really appreciate it.
Cheers. Thanks so much, guys. Thanks
That's
for checking
Evasion.
it out.
And when's it coming out?
It's coming out in the fall of 2018.
Great. So not too much longer.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. I had a ton of fun with it.
Working so hard in Vancouver.
Well, it's a lot of fun. So keep up the good work, I'd say.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was Evasion. We've got a lot more PlayStation VR titles coming up, including one of my personal favorites, Firewall 0 Hour. You won't want to miss it. Stay tuned.
PlayStation